Christos Tzolis has rejected other approaches because he only wants Arsenal. He has already said yes to our proposed personal terms, Club Brugge are willing to sell, and Leandro Trossard is already heading to Besiktas. Everything appears to be lined up, yet Arsenal still have not submitted an official offer. The player has chosen us, his club are ready to talk, so why are we still waiting? Fabrizio Romano has now made Tzolis' position absolutely clear. The 24-year-old winger has received approaches from other clubs, but he has not accepted them because Arsenal are the move he wants. And for once, we are not trying to convince a player who is still looking around Europe for a better option. Tzolis has already chosen the red and white. He has reportedly given the green light to Arsenal's verbal contract proposal, so personal terms should not be the problem. There is no long battle required with the player, and there is no rival club currently leading the race. He is simply waiting for Arsenal to act. That is exactly why this transfer could become frustrating very quickly. Leandro Trossard is leaving for Besiktas in a deal worth around €20 million, and we are losing an experienced attacker who gave us goals, big moments, and genuine quality from the bench. Replacing him is not optional. The space in the squad is there, the money is coming in, and the player Arsenal want has already said yes. There is no reason for this to become another transfer that drags on for weeks. Ben Jacobs says talks between Arsenal and Club Brugge are expected to accelerate, with Tzolis likely to cost between £30 and £35 million, depending on how the deal is structured. Now, let's be honest, £35 million for a player coming from the Belgian league is a serious gamble, especially when Arsenal are expected to compete for every major trophy again next season. Some Gooners will look at that fee and say, we should put every penny towards Morgan Rogers instead. But then you look at the numbers. Tzolis scored 22 goals and provided 29 assists last season. That is 51 goal contributions. You can question the league. You can question how quickly he would adapt to English football. But you cannot pretend those numbers are ordinary. He has destroyed the competition in front of him, and now he wants the chance to prove he can do it for Arsenal. We are not buying a guaranteed Premier League superstar, but we would be buying a 24-year-old attacker who looks ready for a much bigger stage. That is the gamble. Tzolis has already decided that Arsenal are where he wants to take the next step. The question is whether Andrea Berta believes in him enough to finish the deal. Reports suggest that the transfer could be completed by Monday, July 20th, when pre-season officially begins. That would allow Arteta to work with him immediately and give the player time to settle before the real pressure begins. But there is one uncomfortable detail Arsenal supporters cannot ignore. Initial contact has been made with Club Brugge, yet there has reportedly been no official bid. And we have seen this movie before. Arsenal identify a player. The player is interested. Talks begin. Then days pass while we continue exploring the structure of the deal. Sometimes patience is smart, but sometimes it is just hesitation dressed up as strategy. And Arsenal's hesitation is the only real villain in this story. Not Club Brugge. They are willing to sell, not the player. He has already rejected other approaches, and not personal terms because Tzolis has already said yes. The next move belongs entirely to Arsenal. This is where Andrea Berta has to earn his reputation. Nobody is asking Arsenal to panic and throw £35 million on the table without negotiating. But there is a huge difference between negotiating strongly and dragging your feet when every other part of the deal is already open. Because the longer this takes, the more control we lose. Another club could return with a stronger offer. Brugge could raise their demands, and a transfer that currently looks straightforward could suddenly become a mess. Tzolis has handed Arsenal the advantage. Now we have to use it. But there is one more update that could completely change how we look at this deal. Jacobs claims that signing Tzolis would have no impact on Arsenal's pursuit of Morgan Rogers. That is massive. It means Tzolis may not be the cheaper alternative we turn to after giving up on Rogers. Arsenal could genuinely be planning to add both, and if that is the plan, Trossard's departure is not simply being covered. Arteta and Berta could be preparing to rebuild our attack with two younger players who bring more pace, more competition, and far more goals. But we should not celebrate two signings before Arsenal have completed one. Tzolis has already made his statement. Now Arsenal have to make theirs. Christos Tzolis wants Arsenal. He has turned down other approaches, accepted our verbal proposal, and Club Brugge are willing to negotiate. Trossard's departure has also created an obvious place for him in the squad. Everything is ready. Now Andrea Berta has to close the deal, because if Monday arrives and Tzolis is still waiting for an official offer, the question will not be whether the player was serious about joining Arsenal. The question will be why Arsenal hesitated when the player had already chosen us. And if Tzolis really is only the first part of a plan that also includes Morgan Rogers, our attack could look completely different before the season even begins. Is Tzolis the perfect replacement for Trossard, or is £35 million too much of a gamble? Let us know in the comments below, leave a like, subscribe to Arsenal Pulse, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Arsenal news. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Gunners. On you.